What's up, y'all, and welcome to Life According to Cree, the podcast. I am your host, Cree Cole, and you're now tuned in to the Sunday LYF Check, where we pause, reflect, and tell the truth about what life is really trying to show us. This month, we're walking through the June theme, The Year is Talking Back. And if the year is talking back, that means our job throughout the month is to not try to rush past what it's saying. Our job is to slow down, pay attention, and ask ourselves what our life has been trying to show us. It's halftime, baby. So let's get into it. Okay, so like I always remind y'all, for the month of June, the Sunday LYF Checks are directly linked in with the Empower 365 and LYF Check challenges at lifeaccordingtocree.com. Today's episode brings those two pieces together. So tonight, we're going to talk about how when the results speak, you got to listen before you fix it. Did y'all catch the pause? When the results start speaking, when the results is like I said, it's halftime. When the results from everything you've been doing since January 1, when you set those New Year's resolutions, you said you was gonna make them changes, you was gonna stop doing this, you were gonna start doing this, all of that. When the results start to speak, when you actually start to see progress, it's time to stop, listen, and then get to planning about how you plan on fixing the things that you haven't quite caught grasp of. Because sometimes the results are already giving us the answer. But instead of listening, we start reacting. We start rescuing. We start explaining. We start fixing. We start carrying things that may not even belong to us. Like, for example, if I say that I wanted in 2026, I am going to become a better listener. I'm going to stop listening to respond. I'm going to stop listening to react. I'm going to start listening to actually hear. If that's what I say I'm going to do. But somehow or another, no matter what the conversation is, no matter what the situation is, somehow all of that seems to keep getting lost in translation. Before I start trying to fix it, I need to pause, take a pause, and figure out exactly where I went wrong. And today, we're going to pause long enough to ask, what are the results saying? What am I hearing? And why am I so quick to fix before I fully understand what's being revealed? Okay, so let's get started. The results in your life are not always random. Sometimes they are information. Sometimes they're confirmation. Sometimes they're a warning. And sometimes they're an answer. There's even times when the truth finally starts becoming too loud for you to ignore. And a lot of times, we say we want clarity. We say we want all the signs. We say we want direction. But sometimes the clarity is already sitting in the results. The pattern is the answer. The way the situations make you feel is the answer. The exhaustion is the answer. The peace that you've all of a sudden found in when we're like, wait a minute. I ain't trip out. I ain't flipped out in a couple weeks. I can't remember the last time I got mad. Sometimes it's the repeated disappointment, the silence, the growth, the way people respond when you finally set a boundary can be the answer. The way your body reacts when you enter into certain spaces is the answer. Sometimes we aren't confused because the situation is unclear. Sometimes we're confused because accepting the truth requires us to make a choice that we're not yet ready to make. And that's where the real work comes in. Because reading the results means you have to stop arguing with the evidence that's right there in front of your face. It's hard to argue that 1 + 1 = 2 when you can go 1 + 1, that's 2. It's hard to argue with that. And when you try to fight against that, That's when things start to make you feel all out of whack. If something keeps draining you, that is a result. If someone shows up when they need something, but no other time, that's a result. If you always leave a conversation feeling smaller, heavier, or more confused than when you started the conversation, that's the damn result. If you're constantly tired, resentful, overwhelmed, or emotionally stretched thin, that is a result. But every result isn't negative. Sometimes we get so focused on pointing out and complaining about the negatives, we fail to see the positives, right? Happens all the time. When you're having that conversation, when you're having a conversation with somebody and everything seems to be going wrong and you're venting and all of that, and your girlfriend lets you get all of it out, and then she says, "Yeah, baby, I hear you, but you got this, you got that." You know how that'll piss you off. You know how that'll piss you off. But every result is not negative. You have to have a balance where you're seeing both the good and the bad that's coming out of the work that you're doing. Some results are showing you that you're growing. Some results are showing you that you're actually healing. Some results are showing you that you no longer are responding in the way that you used to. It can show up in a way where the old version of you would have stayed silent, but this version of you is finally telling the truth. So when we talk about reading the results, we're not just looking for what went wrong. We are also going to sit back and list and figure out what's changed, what's grown, what's been released, and what deserves to be protected. I'm going to say this because I am a person who too sees an issue and immediately starts trying to figure out how to fix it. I may not have all the facts. I may not have done any research. It could be something that I never experienced or heard of before. My mind immediately flips into, how do I fix this? How do I repair this? And a lot of other people get caught up in that way too. As soon as something feels uncomfortable, we try to fix it. Somebody is upset and we try to smooth it over. Someone pulls back and we try to close the distance. Like a relationship starts feeling strange and strained, and all of a sudden we start over explaining. A situation starts to feel uncertain and we start trying to control the outcome. Something hurts and we start looking for a solution before we ever even let ourselves understand the lesson. And I get it. For a lot of us, including myself, fixing feels like love. You know, we're taught from a very young age that, even from our parents, that the things that they were able to fix for us when there were a problem, the things that they were able to figure out for us when we were kids, were that should have been enough, right? That should have been enough. No matter what else was lacking in a relationship, no matter how what lack of care there was, lack of time, lack of attention. Even our parents sometimes think that the fact that they were able to be there when this happened, the fact that they were able to fix that when that happens, that automatically qualifies them as being a good parent to you, right? Fixing feels responsible. Fixing feels productive. Fixing feels like we're doing something. But sometimes fixing too soon keeps us from hearing what we need to hear from who we need to hear it from. Sometimes we're so busy trying to repair and fix all the different shit that's going on in our lives that we forget to ask why the damage keeps happening. Why we keep ending up in the situations that we're in. Sometimes we're so busy trying to keep the peace with people, in between people, that we never ask ourselves why peace requires our silence. Why I got to be the one to step away. Why I always got to be the one to be the better person, the bigger person. Sometimes we're so busy helping everybody else feel okay and be cool that we never ask whether we're okay. We sacrifice our own comfort for the comfort of others. When in reality, there's different things that needed to happen, different things that you saw, you heard, and you overlooked in the pursuit of trying to fix a situation. We have to start listening before we go to fix it. I repeat, listen before you fix it. Before you fix the relationship, listen to what the relationship has been showing you. And that when you know, here at Life According to Cree, when we talk about relationships, there's no different levels of the ships. I'm talking about all the ships. Friendships, romantic relationship, kinship, all of it's the same over here. Before you fix that friendship, listen to how you feel after you leave that person's presence. Before you fix that family issue, listen to whether you have been expected to be the bigger person so often that nobody is ever held accountable to you. Before you fix that problem at work, listen to what your body is telling you every time you walk into that space. Before you fix everyone else's crisis, start going out there Googling stuff, running up and down the road, checking on this person, calling this person, listening to this person, stepping outside, leaving family gatherings, all things, right? Before you start to fix or start running around trying to fix everybody else's crisis, listen to whether or not anything is left for yourself. We talk about it all the time here. How we've been conditioned to believe that running on empty is a badge of honor. Still being able to do when everything that we're supposed to do is done and still do for others is an accomplishment. That means you're strong. That means you're dependable. That means you're a strong black woman. Like it's a badge. As if struggling to get things and then we have the audacity. We have the audacity to be mad sometimes at everybody else because they don't appreciate what we do for everybody else. And not being honest with ourselves and admitting that sometimes nobody asked. Sometimes they said they got it. Sometimes they were going to get to that place, just not in the time frame that you thought they were supposed to get to that place. Because everything that hurts is not your assignment. Everything that's broken does not require your individualized, personalized repair plan. And everything that needs attention does not require you to completely abandon yourself in order to be present. One of the most powerful things you can practice this week is to pause. Just pause. Stop yourself. Not somebody else saying, hey, you might need to chill out. Or you know what? You need to get some rest. You know what? We shouldn't have to depend on other people to let us know we doing too damn much. That we doing too much. You have to have your own clock and recognize and acknowledge when your body, your mind, and your spirit needs a rest. Pause before you respond. Pause before you say yes. Pause before you apologize just to end the tension that's in the room. Before you volunteer to carry something. Before you explain yourself to someone that has committed themselves to misunderstanding you. Because I promise you, if you actually stop trying to fix everything, stop trying to figure out how to fix everything, and actually pay attention and listen to what your work and your progress is trying to tell you, you'll see that that person is committed to not fucking with you by any means. And you running around trying to explain yourself and justify yourself to people who have already made a decision that they're not trying to understand. Pause before you call your guilt wisdom. When I tell you that trope, that every situation is a learning experience, has been twisted and turned and mangled into so many things but the truth. So many things but the truth. Pause before you call your guilt wisdom. Just because you know better, if you're not doing better, if you don't know, if from your experience you have not found the corrective action and put that corrective action into place, baby, that's not wisdom. It's just a testimony. It's just another testimony. Pause before you call your fear love. There are so many people who search, seek, bend over backwards, change their morals, bend on their boundaries, all because they're afraid to be alone. And when I say afraid to be alone, I'm not just speaking about in romantic relationships. They're afraid of not having no friends. They're afraid of the people at work not talking to them. They're afraid of their cousins, their aunties, their uncles, their mama, their daddy, their siblings not fucking with them. And they consider all the things that they do out of fear to be things that they do out of love when it's the farthest thing from it. And some of us have not heard ourselves clearly in a very long time. Let me tell you something. When you get up out the bed and go to bed to someone else's voice other than God's, when there is constantly someone in your ear, constantly someone in your ear that you never heard God tell you and confirm to you was assigned to you, it is exhausting. And it gets to the point where you can't even have an original thought without them pouring their thoughts over top of yours and smothering yours. But because we're so quick to fix things and we want things to be so right, we want things to be so perfect, we want things to be so balanced, we're not paying attention to what's been happening and how we got to where we are because we fixed it. We hear everybody else. We hear what they need when their tones change, when the room feels different, when someone else is upset, when something's wanting something from us. But ask yourself, can you hear yourself? Do you hear you? Do you ever hear you? And if you do hear you, do you act on what you hear? Or when you act, do you act off of what the peanut gallery has added to it? Because you let them know what was going on. Let me tell you something. A lot of times, the voice that you hear, that everybody's saying, did you hear you? A lot of times, that's not even you. That's not even you speaking. Sometimes God be speaking directly to us. He be speaking directly to us. And we'll take that thing that God gave directly to us, go give it to some people. Go tell it to some other people. And let them twist it all around. And never get to where God's trying to take us to. Never experience what he's trying to get us to experience. Can you hear your exhaustion? Do you hear your resentment before it becomes bitterness? Can you hear your body when it begins to shut down? Can you hear the spirit before it gets quiet? Listening before you fix is not just about listening to people. It's about listening to yourself first. Because you are a part of the situation too. Your peace matters too. Your capacity, your truth, your needs all matter. Even when chaos is happening for everyone else around you, you still matter. So, what are the results asking you to choose? Once you read the results and listen before you fix, the next question becomes, what are the results asking you to choose? Because we cannot stop at awareness. Awareness is powerful, but awareness alone also comes with responsibility. Like you hear the people like, I know I'm a bitch. I know I'm a bitch. I know exactly who the fuck I am. I am a bitch. That's awareness. You are extremely self-aware. I wish I had a guess so we could both slow clap. Once you see the pattern, if you decide to keep going and participating in the same way, that's on you. Once you hear your own exhaustion, you have to decide if you're going to keep pushing past it. Once you recognize what drains you, you have to decide whether it deserves the same access to you. And I want to remind you, that's whether it's with your family, your friends, your job, that man, some brothers listening, that woman, you have to make the conscious decision about where you want to take this. You can't say that you were forced to, or you had no choice, or who else was going to do it. You are personally responsible, engaging your capacity in situations. Now, that doesn't mean that every choice has to be dramatic. Because one thing I can't stand is a dramatic bitch. Can't stand it. You don't have to blow up your whole life to honor the truth. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta shut the world down. You don't gotta hear Beyonce hollering world stop. Okay? It doesn't have to be that deep. Sometimes choosing yourself looks like very small adjustments that don't require a Facebook post, an Instagram shout out, a snap quote. It don't require none of that. It looks like just simply saying, let me think about it. It looks like seeing the phone ring, knowing you overwhelmed, and saying, I'm gonna call them back. I'm gonna call them back. It can look like taking the night to rest. Yeah, they done sent you all the flyers. They told you about they doing the little cookout for little June birthday. Do June, turning 6. They gonna get started around 6 p.m. They having a cookout. BYOB, y'all know the vibes. Y'all know the vibes. It looks like letting somebody else solve their own problem. Well, Cree, if they call me and they say they need help and they don't know what to do, I'm just supposed to leave them out there dangling in the wind. Let me tell you something. When people tell you they bullshit, they never tell you 100% of their bullshit. Even if they tell you some of the grimy, gritty stuff, they never tell you all of it. And that's why there's times, depending on the situation, depending on your capacity to be there for that person, you have to allow them to solve their own problem. Be a listening ear only. Show up in solidarity and support only. But allow them to sort that shit out themselves. Because it's so many times where I have people tell me about this situation. I'll be like, what happened to such and such? And then they unload on me about how they didn't do this or they didn't do that or they didn't show up in the way that they thought or that they expected for them to show. Let them people solve their own problem. If God didn't put it on your spirit before they ever rung your phone, let me tell you something. With the people that I'm close to and that I love, even if that same love isn't reciprocated, I feel it in my belly before they call me. I feel it in my belly before they even call me. But that's because I learned to listen to myself. Because when God wants to tell me something, He tells it directly to me. He sends somebody else to confirm it. It looks like not explaining that boundary for the fifth or sixth time. If I told you I'm not with the bullshit, if I told you I'm not with the bullshit. If I distinctly tell you that I don't like something, by the time I'm having to repeat it for the third or fourth time, baby, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. It looks like sitting in a room of people that are planning an event. And people are all saying, oh, I can do this. I can do that. I can bring this. I can bring that. I can make this. I can make that. And not saying a motherfucking word. Because you know that you don't have the capacity to make that happen right now. You know that by you volunteering to do that, that's going to cause for you to have to from others, pull from other spaces, pull from what you do for other people, pull from what you do for yourself in order to make that happen. And you may not have that in you this time. It looks like telling the truth without dressing it up. It looks like not lying in order to make other people feel more comfortable with their shit. It looks like protecting the peace you worked hard to find at all costs. Because see, I can sacrifice some time. I can sacrifice a little bit of comfort, to get to the greater goal. If the goal is something that will be prosperous for everybody. But my peace is non-negotiable. My peace is non. Your peace should be non-negotiable. That is what it is to love yourself first in real time. It's not being selfish and not being there for anyone at any time. It's making sure that you're in a space to be that person that others are expecting you to be when you show up. And if you can't, stand out of them folks' way. So now we're moving on to this week's life check questions. As I've told y'all, everything during the Sunday life check is directly related to the Empower 365 and life check challenges on lifecourtneycree.com. So all you gotta do is go over there to lifecourtneycree.com, go over there to the self-care center, go to that tab, go to the Empower 365 tab, and all of those challenges are there. If you want to actually download the workbooks that these are in, you become a member. You have access every month with a downloadable journal, but that's up to you. Let's get to the questions. This week, I want you to sit with these questions. So this is your moment. I'm gonna stall a little bit, give you a little bit of time. Get a little bit of time to get your little notepad, get your little pencil ink pen, whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? Get your little favorite pen or whatever, so you can write these down. If you can't get there to write them down, the episode will still be on YouTube. You can always come back. But number one, what results in my life have I been avoiding because I do not like what they reveal? What results, what things have I seen that I know of and I seen, am I avoiding? Because I don't like what they reveal about me or what they reveal about the people around me. Number two, where have I been trying to fix something before fully listening to what is teaching me? What if I tried to fix because I didn't want to sit in it no more? And I was like, I got to do something. I got to do something now. People around you saying, you need to do something about that. Now you all stirred up trying to get it fixed. Number three, what situation keeps becoming mine to repair even though I wasn't the one that broke it? I'm going to sit with that one this week. I tell you, this experience with being a life coach and podding and everything, not only, I ain't just trying to help other people. A lot of this is for me too. Number four, what am I hearing from myself that I've been trying to avoid? What's that thing that I keep saying I need to do? I need to get done. And I keep ignoring. I'm gonna tell y'all mine. I'm gonna tell y'all mine. I'm gonna tell y'all my number four. I know I need to lose weight. Not for physical looks, not for the male gaze. Cause baby, y'all tune in Thursday. I can't talk about that right now. Let's get that focus. Let me tell you something. Not for those reasons, but because I want to live a longer life. I want to extend my livelihood, and I know that once being 180 pounds and now being damn near 280 pounds, I know that I can live a healthier lifestyle than what I do. Because it was something that I did and I maintained for 6 years. So, number five, what do I need to pause before I respond this week? Y'all know how y'all weeks go. Y'all know if y'all got, regular schedules or how you move about, places that you go, you do this on this day, you do that on that day. Tonight, think about it and say, what night I need to sit my ass down? What night I need to sit my ass down? And the last question, number six, what would loving myself first require from me right now? What is something simple I could do to put myself first without diminishing my necessity or someone else's necessity for me at this time? What would loving myself first require from me right now? And don't rush through these. Do not answer them in a way that sounds good. Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody gonna know nobody knows how you answering that but you and God. Answer them honestly, because it's not about being perfect. There's no one perfect on this earth. Perfection is not an obtainable thing because the bar is always moving. Different situations require the bar to be set in different places. This is about being present with yourself. But thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of Life According to Cree, our Sunday LYF Check. Before I let you go, I want to invite you to take this episode beyond just listening. Go to lifeaccordingtocree.com and check out the June challenges, the EmpowerLYF, read the results, and Life Check, listen before you fix challenge. Both of them, this is for this week. You'll be all lined up. No, we missed last Sunday, so I put them together this Sunday so you can catch yourself up. These challenges were created to help you slow down, reflect, and apply what we talk about here on the Sunday LYF Check. The podcast gives you the conversation. The challenges give you the work. And the work is where the change happens. Not by listening to me sit up here and talk to my reflection. The work starts with you and with those challenges. So if today's episode made you think about the patterns in your life, the results you've been ignoring, or the ways that you rush to fix, rescue, and respond or carry what may not belong to you, then do not let that thought pass. Take it to the page, take it to the prompt, take it to the work. Become a monthly life challenge subscriber on lifecornercree.com and get, like I said, get access to monthly downloadable challenges, weekly guidance, reflection tools, and resources to help you love yourself first in real time. Not just in theory, not just in potting, not just in clip world, but in real life. So do not just listen to this episode. Go and do the work. The challenges are also available right there online. Maybe not in the downloadable version, but if you go to the lifeaccordingtocree.com website, click on the self-care challenges and the Empower 365 challenges. All of them are there. You can use your own notebook, baby. You can use your own notebook. Now, as we close today's life check, I want you to remember this. The results are not here to shame you. The results are in place to guide you. They are here to show you what needs attention, what needs your honesty, what needs your care, and what may need to be released. You do not have to fix everything in order to prove that you care. You don't have to respond immediately to prove that you're present. You don't have to carry what's not yours to prove that you are loving. This week, give yourself permission to read the results without arguing with them. Give yourself permission to listen before you fix. Give yourself permission to pause before you respond. Give yourself permission to stop carrying what was never yours. Remember, loving yourself isn't about being selfish. It's about loving yourself in a way that allows you to love others better. I'm Cree Cole, and this has been the Sunday Life Check on Life According to Cree, the podcast. Until next time, keep living, keep loving, keep flourishing. See y'all Tuesday. Bye.